Estamos en más.
So we're going to have a spelling. Remember, I tell you, today we're going to have in this hour spelling, unit number 6. We're going to work in this unit class. Yes, so open your book, unit number 6. I'm going to tell you the page number. The unit is called Persephone, Goddess of Springtime. This is the picture of the girl. Well, it was considered one of the goddess of springtime, this girl. That is, here we have the page. Let me see. Who has the page number? I don't see the page in this picture. Who has the page of unit number 6?
56.
Hermes?
56.
56. Okay, everybody up and thank you. Page number 56. We're going to work on this page. Page 56. And 57. You have the page, class? Persephone, goddess of spring.
I have the page.
Yes.
I have the page.
Okay, this is upgrade math. So we're going to read, as you remember, for each unit. Excellent, Rosa. We have a story, we have some reading, and we have some words that they are colored in blue, they are highlighted, that we're going to learn the meaning of that. So let's see, Rosa, you're going to be the first one. Help me to read the first part, please. You are going to read the first part of this story.
Long ago, there was a beautiful golden of writing time named Persephone.
Named Persephone.
Persephone. She was daughter of Demeter.
Demeter.
The god of earth
Harvest.
One day in early spring.
Persephone was walking.
Persephone was walking along a stream when the spot of beautiful with blossom. The sight of many flowers distracted her, and she did not notice a huge black chariot approaching. Inside the chariot was the ruler of the underworld. He was struck by of beauty.
Okay. Just a stop until she was his wife, until they got it. Thank you, Rosa. So remember, we're talking about Persephone, that is the goddess of the springtime. She is the daughter of Demeter. Demeter was her father. Okay, it says that Persephone's beauty, and no, he never content until she was his wife. The wife of who? Of Hades. Now, let's continue with the reading. Isabella, continue.
Before Persephone could react, Hades has swept her up in his arms and put her inside the chariot. Zeus was Persephone's father was also the most powerful of all the gods. Saw that had happened, he raised lowered Hades in his own chariot, hoping that he and Hades would collide so he could save his daughter. Before that could happen, however, the ground opened up and Hades' chariot disappeared deep inside the earth. first phones felt very afraid in the dark and damp palace where Hades lived. Her body quivers,
River.
quivered, and she began to cry. Hades was distressed to see first me cry, so he began to calm her. He reminded her was an imprudent god and assured her that he would honorable and noble husband. In the meantime,
Demeter.
Demeter became terribly upset when she found her daughter missing. She began searching everywhere for her dear first phone. As she did, she forgot to take her.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. She forgot to take care of the earth and all the plants and crops that grew upon it. She forgot to let it rain, and a great drought came over the land. Tidy well-kept gardens and huge fields of grain were destroyed. As a result, people and animals went hungry. When the goddess did remember to let it rain, the rivers flooded and water covered the land. The full odor of rotting plants and crops filled the air. Zeus saw the horrible things that were happening on Earth and took action. He wanted to visit Hades. Remember that Zeus, Hades, and this girl Persephone, they are gods. They were considered as a god. Fueron unos antiguos dioses. Okay, Zeus said, it's my policy to right or wrong. People everywhere are suffering because you have taken Persephone away. Zeus hates a pomegranate. He say, if you get my daughter to eat this fruit, then you might keep her as your wife and your constant companion. If not, she returns from the underworld to her mother. He didn't want to upset mighty Zeus, but he did want to keep Persephone, but he decided that evening he gave the pomegranate to her. Persephone had not eaten since she had left Earth, and her slight body was becoming quite thin. Heat cracked open the pomegranate. The seeds were juicy and ripe. Without thinking, she took 6 pomegranate seeds and ate them. At that moment, Zeus reappeared to announce his judgment. He said, because Persephone has eaten 6 seeds, she must remain in the underworld for 6 months each year. The other 6 months, she can return to the world above. Then Demeter heard this. She felt both joy and sorrow. From that day on, whenever her daughter was with her for 6 months, the air was alive with plants and blossoms. Whatever Persephone was with heats in the cold. Okay, if you remember, in this story, it's as the others. We have in the story where we have some words that we're going to learn, and they are highlighted on color blue. So we can use the context to find out the meaning of this word. Tell me, Santiago Chavez, what is your question?
¿No viste la clase era de math?
No, remember I tell you that it's going to be spelling. I tell you and I'll tell your parents also. I send it through WhatsApp.
La otra clase es spelling.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, now we're going to work on page 58. That is page number 58 class. We're going to have page 58 where we have the meaning of these words. Let's find out the meaning for each of these words. We have word number 1, that is blossom. What is the meaning of blossom, class? We have the meaning here. We have 2 meanings, 2 definitions. Blossom, it means a flower or group of flowers. The state of time of flowering. So the plants or a flower blossom. We have here roses in blossoms, sweet in the air. We have also another definition, to have or produce flowers, to develop, open up, or appear. Parents can help a child's talents to blossom, so they can help that it's going to develop, that it can be as like a synonym, develop some skills. So we have some synonyms for blossom. Blossoms, we have it bloom, we have to flourish, to grow. There are some synonyms for blossom. Look at the picture. These flowers, they are blossoming. So they are blooming, they are flowering. Gabriela Gicurens, you have any question, Gabriela?
Yes, Miss. Why in the space of the 7 is in white?
Which space?
In full.
Oh, you're in full. Okay, we're going to find out. Let's go number 2. Let's go define. Remember that in each of the space, you have to write it down, the name. You have to write it down, the name of the word that we're using. But it's important for us not just to write the name of the word to complete it. It's important for us to understand the meaning. So blossom, remember that it's number 1. That is number 1. Number 2, it's collide. What is the meaning of collide? Remember collide, we have to crash, to conflict, slam. Collide, it means to clash. It means to clash. For example, one car can collide, can clash, or can have a crash with another car. So that is collide. To strike against each other with force. For example, cars. As I was saying, one truck, one bus, it can collide with another. It needs to have a clash. Is it clear what is blossom in collide, class? Yes or not?
So when is the space white is full? The base 58 and the last one I have the 7. Copy this in the 7 fold in the other space fold.
Okay, you are listen my question. Did you understand what is blossom and collide, class? Do not write right now. I didn't tell you to write it down. Just to pay attention to my explanation. Is it clear what I was explaining about blossom and collide or not?
Yeah.
Yes?
No, miss.
No.
Copy
Okay,
this.
do not copy. Right now, you don't have to copy. You can do it later. Right now, I wanted to understand, follow the reading of the definition, understand what is the meaning of blossom? What is the meaning of each of these words?
If I have a question, blossom is crecer, I think.
We can use that word in Spanish, yes, blossom. Collide, it's to clash. For example, one car can clash with another one. So it is strike. Now, Santiago Hernandez, your video, remember to have your video on, everybody. Number 3, what is constant, class? Constant, it's continue doing something, never stopping. You never stop to doing something. That's why you have the synonyms, continuous, it's true, it's loyal. So for example, cities,
Teacher, why
the cities dollars get used to the constant hum of traffic. So it's continuous, never stop. It's never stop. Now, what is the second definition for constant? Something that doesn't change or vary. It's going to be the same answer, the same thing, because it's constant. The need for food, it's a constant for all living things. It means that you always need to eat food. It's constant. It's something that is constant. You're not going to stop eating food, right? Because you need it. You need it for your health, for your body. So that is constant. Now let's go number 4. What about content? We have the definitions of content here. That is when you please with somebody else. For example, our neighbors are content with their new home. They feel happy. They feel fulfilled because they are content. They are content with something that they are getting. Also, we have another definition. The content of that book is too technical for me. It means we have 2 definitions for this. Something, it's an adjective, it's a feeling. You can feel content, you can feel happy. But we have the other one that is content. The content of that book, it's too technical. It means that it's is the amount of information that you can get from a book, for example. It's too much, the content. The information of that book, it's too much. So we have these two definitions for content. Number 5, we have distract. What about distract, class? Distract is when you're not paying attention. For example, right now, I'm explaining you the meaning of each word. You can be distracting, write it down in your book, write it down in your notebook. You can be distracting using your cell phone. You can be distracting playing Among Us. You can be distracting watching TV. You can be distracting just seeing another place, seeing around, looking around something. So that is distract. That is draw attention to something else. What about drought? Drought, it's a long time without rain. For example, imagine that all the year in Honduras, it doesn't rain. So it's going to be a drought because it's not raining, but thanks to God, it rains at least some days. So that is drought. Drought, it's a long time without rain. It's dry, that place, like the desert. The desert, there is a long time of long time that it doesn't rain, so it's dry, it's drought. That is drought. What about number 7? We have 7, we have many definitions, so we have it on page 58 and 59. Full means an unpleasant to the sense, dirty or polluted, dishonorable, against the rules of the sport of a game. It says the criminal was responsible for many full deeds. That is deeds, right? I don't see so well. Okay, the criminal was responsible for many full deeds. So that is number 1, but we have in the next page, we have more definitions. So let's read the other one. It says, the second definition is a violation of the rules. A ball that goes outside boundary lines. For example, the umpire ruled that the ball was a foul. Third definition, to pollute or make filthy. To break the rules of a game, to hit a ball. Leaky old tanks can fall water and soil. So, in other words, just to make a summary, what is the meaning of foul? Foul means to be something dirty, to be disgusting, something that is offensive, like you have here the synonym, that is foul. Something that it contaminates, so it's dirty. The opposite for foul is to be clean, to be fair. So foul means something offensive, something that is disgusting, something that is dirty. It's contaminated. That is foul. What about number 8? We have noble. Noble, we have the definitions again. It's something that is honorable, someone of high rank or birth. We can say, for example, the Queen of Spain, it's a noble. She's noble because she is on the rank, on the high rank. So she is a noble. Queen, king, they are considered nobles. What about number 9? We have a policy. A policy is a rules, guidelines, it's a plan, it's a way to act. For example, on the bank, each bank, for example, Bank of Atlantida, Bank of, I don't know, Ficosa, each of them, they have different policies. They have different policies for their banks. Some of the policies, they are alike, they are similar, but they must be, most of them, they are different. So this is for that policy. It's a plan, a rule, guidelines. What about number 10? We have quiver. The definition of quiver is divided into 2. Look at the picture here. Look at this boy. The boy is carrying a quiver. If you see here, this is a quiver. A quiver, it's like a bag. It's not a bag, but it looks like a bag where this person, this archer, is wearing the arrows. So where you put all the arrows, the Indian people used to have these quivers. The Indian people used to have these quivers where they put all the arrows. It says 1 arrow was left in the archer's quiver. If you look at the picture, there is just 1 arrow in the quiver, in this like a bag, but it's not a bag. That is a quiver. But we have another definitions for quiver. Quiver is to check or tremble. For example, when you're nervous that you have to make an exposition. Imagine that right now I tell you, you need to make an exposition of the definitions of this word. You're going to feel nervous. Maybe if you are speaking, your mouth is going to quiver. Como temblando. Your lips can be quivering. You can feel nervous. That is quiver also. So we have 2 minutes for quiver. One, it's this, as you can notice in the picture, and the other is I feel it, to check. When I'm nervous, my hands quiver. They're checking. That is another definitions for quiver. What about number 11? We have slide. It's like, remember that it's something that it's small, something that it's small. It can be also something that it's not important, something that it's not to treat as an important. For example, a good host and hostess never slide their guests. So it means that you're not going to treat somebody else as unimportant. So we have some synonyms: slender, minor, snap, and insult. And the last word for this unit is tidy. Tidy is something neat and in good order, comfortable on a large in amount. So it's something that it's in order, it's substantial, needed. To put things in neat or proper order. That is tidy. Be sure to tidy the room before you go. You order your room before you leave, right? So that is tidy. Now, complete it on your book, these 2 pages, write the words in the space. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write those words in the space.
Me, already finished.
You're finished.
I
Okay.
finished.
Okay. Questions about the
finished.
definition. One definition that it's not clear for you. One definition that it's not clear.
I finished.
Finish? Okay, excellent.
Finish.
Who knows the meaning of the word of, let's see, what is quiver, class? Who can explain what is quiver?
Quiver is a
Case used to hold arrows.
manos and quiver are 2 definitions. Nervous
Okay.
and I don't know the second.
Do you understand what is drought? Drought? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Seco, I think.
Something that is
Yes.
dry because it hasn't rained. What is blossom? What is blossom?
Blossom is crecer in Spanish.
Rosa?
A flower or a group of flowers.
But what do you understand what is blossom? Do you understand what is blossom,
I
Lucia?
think crecer.
Dice crecer o un grupo de...
Yes, you say it's a group of flowers that they bloom. When they you see it, that they are growing, they are blooming. That is blossom. They are like seen in it, as Rebecca is saying in Spanish, they are growing. Okay, do you understand what is collide? The definition number 2 of collide?
No, this no.
No? Who understand what is collide? No? Nobody? Okay, one more time. Small meteors sometimes collide with the moon. So collide means to crash, que se estrellan. We can say that in Spanish. The small meteors, los meteoritos se estrellan en la luna. Eso es lo que dice aquí. So that is collide. To clash, to crash with 2 things. So that we have 2 things. One thing is crash, collide with another. That is collide. Marcelo, is it clear what is collide? Yes or no, class? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, we finished? Okay, perfect. Now,
Miss,
in the next hour, we're going to continue with the spelling, but we have time. Right now, we have 3 minutes. So what we're going to do in these 3 minutes, I'm going to give you 1 minute to read just the words. Word number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 12. And then I'm going to choose some of you to spell the word. For example, I can say, Rebecca spelled the word novel. So you need to spell the word. So 1 minute to read the words. Read the words, and then I'm going to choose some of you to spell the word. We're going to make like a spelling bee. So read the words in these minutes, and then I'm going to choose some of you.
I have a question. No,
Amica,
¿Cómo se pronuncia bon, the first one? Bonsil.
Blossom, blossom. Mhm.
Okay. Blossom, golden.
Blossom, I'm going to pronounce it, Khalid. Blossom, collide, constant, content, distract, drought, fall, noble, policy, quiver, slide, and tide. Okay, 10 seconds and then we start. Lucia, tell me. Are you ready, Lucia?
Yes.
You're ready? Okay, Lucia, you're going to be the first one. Lucia, can you spell the word for us? Quiver.
Quiver. Sí. No. Q U I la
V.
E R.
Thank you. Quiver. Isabella, can you spell the word drought?
What word is?
Drought.
Drought. D-R-O-U. G-H-T.
That's
Drought.
right. Excellent. Sian, can you spell the word blossom?
E-L-O-S-S-O-M. Blossom.
Thank you. Excellent. Gabriela Gicurens, can you spell the word for us? Noble.
What word?
Noble.
N-O-B-L-E. Novel.
Excellent. Anna, can you spell the word tidy?
T-I-D-Y.
Tidy. Excellent. Okay, let's see one boy. Hermes. Hermes, can you spell the word policy?
Policy. P-O-L-I-Y.
C-Y. That's right. Okay, listen, let's go. The class finished, so let's go and have the break. Later, we're going to continue working on this. Let's go and have the break, and then we continue with the class. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.